Hey everyone, welcome to my first ever course vlog, where I plan to take you through my entire round, shot for shot, and how I thought my way around the course. I never thought that I would do a course vlog, but this is heavily inspired by some channels like GolfSidekick and Erik Today we're at Bowling Green, nestled in the mountains of New Jersey, built by Jeffrey Cornish, who was a pretty notable architect in the 1900s and early 2000s. He's actually contributed to over 200 courses, mainly in New England. It's a tale of two nines where the front nine is pretty wooded and the back nine is a little more open. And we'll take you through the front nine today. Hope you enjoy. So here we are on the first hole. Pretty straightaway, short par 4. That bunker out there is about 230 out, so 4 iron should leave me short of that and give me a shot in the fairway with a good number in. Should is the operative word there. As you can see, this is what they may call in Scotland an Abraham Lincoln, in other words, a dead yank. This left me with about 125 in under the tree. I tried to punch draw a 9 iron. The ball actually went higher than the shot tracer there, skipped through the tree and ended up in the bunker about 15 yards to the right. With this bunker shot, I know that it's a bit downhill, so all I have to do is just get it on and try to keep it below the hole so I get a good putt up the hill. Luckily, this rolled out to just about 2 or 3 feet. I'm just an okay bunker player, so I will take this result every single time. This next tee shot didn't require a driver, but in the moment, that felt more comfortable than a 3-wood for whatever reason, so I rode that feeling and it worked out well. This left me with 105 to a back left pin, which is typically a stock sand wedge for me. The last thing I wanted to be was long and short side myself, but sometimes when I take full swings with my wedges, I feel like they spin too much, I hit them too high, and I don't actually get the full distance I'm looking for. That's more or less what happened on this shot. This is a pretty flat green, which can sometimes be harder to read than something that's got some break to it. So I picked a spot between me and the hole, aimed for that, and I did a very okay job at executing. Luckily, I was able to convert the first knee knocker of the day. It would not be the last. 3 is a slightly downhill par 3, measuring at 190 but playing about 185. It's a 2-tier green, so the miss is definitely short and below the hole. So 6 iron was a pretty stock club here for me. Felt pretty confident standing over this. And then I hit this absolute monstrosity that ended up being another pulled iron shot into this fidget spinner looking bunker there on the left. Did I mention it left me on the downslope? Pretty pumped about that. This left me with a chunk and run option that did not chunk, nor did it run. Tally this up as another first putt that I leave short. This might be a drinking game. Number 4 is a target golf par 5. It doglegs really hard to the left. You have to clear water twice. So I told myself, my game's not super sharp, just avoid big numbers. We're just taking 4 iron right out at that tall tree way in the distance. Unfortunately, 4 iron ended up being a little bit too much, and I'm about to end up behind said tree. This left me with about 230 behind that tree. Normally I would go for it with a 3-wood from this distance, but there's a big bunker right in front of the green, and again, no big numbers. Let's just try to hook a low 6 iron around here and get ourselves into scoring position. Or I could do none of that and block it right and get ejected right into the river, which is what happened. I know this is a generous drop, fuck off. I had 215 and I wasn't running back to the cart to get the proper club, so I tried to hit a really high cut 3-wood that ended up about pin high and 40 yards right. This green slopes pretty severely towards me, so I'm just trying to land it about halfway and keep it below the hole. But instead, I landed it at the flag and put it 15 feet above the hole. This is usually a pretty slippery putt down the hill, but if I leave it short, remember, take a drink. I'm aiming right at the flag shadow and trying to let it come down. Or just end up in the flag shadow. But that's okay, I've already made one of these today, I should be alright. Who the fuck am I kidding? That was terrible. Number 5 is another modest length par 4. It bends to the left. The bunker right should be out of play if I can hit a decent 3-wood. The shot calls for a draw, which normally you would line up on the left side of the box, start it out right and bring it back, but because I'm trying to cut the corner here, I start on the right side and played a draw that started in the middle and went towards the corner. yanked it a bit, got a little lucky, and ended up in position A. This is the second time at 105 yards on my approach, but this time I'm into the wind. Again, it's a back pin and another 2-tier green, so I opt to take the attack wedge, which is my 125 club, and try to play a knockdown that starts at that right pine tree and just draws in a little bit where the flag is right in between those 2 pine trees, center frame. I blocked this off just a bit right, but it did not stop me from a nice little club twirl there, which definitely looked better than the shot. Left myself about 22 feet here. Unfortunately, no drinking on this one. I was actually able to get this first putt all the way to the hole. 6 and 7 run back and forth parallel to each other, and they're in this corridor of 100-foot tall pine trees. Those trees are so close together that they can feel like actual jail. Play here on the dogleg right is to try to cut something off that tall red pine tree there on the left that actually sits in the fairway, so need to really keep it right of that. Driver is usually the worst club in my bag. I just kept repeating that mantra of tempo and finish, and I got another good driver swing. I'm 131 here. The ball's sitting a little bit below my feet, so I took some extra clubs so I didn't have to reach for it too much. This is a 9-iron that should be a pretty easy, even tempoed swing. It looks like my feet are lined up a little left of target and the club face is square, so that may explain why I hit this wipey shot that ends up about 30 feet pin high. A little worried about slow play since I had the camera, so I didn't check this putt out near the hole, which I instantly regretted. You know what that means, another short putt, drink up. That's not that easy of a hole, so I'll definitely take a par. The next hole, another tough one, back down through this corridor, and I'm feeling pretty good with the driver. I've had 2 good swings so far today. Unfortunately, that was my downfall, probably overconfidence. I end up slicing this one into those godforsaken pine trees. Luckily, they were kind and they dropped me straight down and did not leave me in between them. So I'm 210 to another back left pin, and long is totally dead, so I figured anything on the front of the green would work out well. So I clubbed down from the 210 number, hit a 5-iron, and was able to get something on the front of the green. So I'm about 40 feet up the hill. Now these greens have been punched recently, but I swear I hit this thing as hard as I could and I didn't get there. It's comical at this point. Another one short. Drink up.
They just drove up before I hit. What about you?
I kid. I'm the guy with the camera. I want to play ready golf. I don't want to slow anything down, so I was actually totally fine that they drove up. I've got 165 yards here, slightly uphill, playing about 170. The architects did a good job with some visual intimidation. You have that lake that is not in play, but you have to look at it, and you have bunkers guarding the whole front of the green. So an 8-iron carries 160 for me. I did not want to be short, so I took a 7-iron, and I really thought I flagged this one. Very mediocre club twirl here. Went right over the flag, left me about 20 feet slightly downhill for my birdie. After leaving so many putts short, I really want to make sure I got this one all the way there. Not even close, not even in the same area code. You better believe that I opened up a beer as soon as I got back to my cart. After pounding 12 ounces of mildly cold light beer, I figured par 5, scoring opportunity, let's get back in this. Driver out, 3 for 4 with the driver. Played that exactly how I wanted to, just fading right off that tree line. Thought I'd be in really good position. Okay, so a little too confident, but I've got a hook lie and a shot that calls for a draw, so I'm feeling that. Wanted to start something at that right bunker and draw it back with a 4-iron. It's also, I'm not on the upslope in the rough, so I clubbed up a little bit here. Normally 195, I'd probably hit a 5-iron. So I'm sitting over the shot, feeling like I've made all the right decisions. Unfortunately, I get a little stuck inside here and just leave this thing hanging out to the right. It draws a little bit, enough to not put me on the wrong side of those trees, but it puts me in some juicy rough trying to get over this bunker for my up and down. Because it's so thick, I'm trying to come in steep, pop something up, and get about halfway to the hole and let it run out. I feel like sometimes I hit these shots a little too hard because I'm trying to get so much ball first, and this was exactly that case. On the return chip shot, I'm in the rough again, but I pick a spot, I visualize it, I kind of imagine I'm in my backyard chipping, and I hit it almost exactly where I wanted. But please do not miss me almost falling face first onto the green. That is a true athlete right there, folks. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this first course vlog, and we'll be back with the second 9 soon. See ya.